Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start the city council meeting. Not a breath ahead, even across the street, for Tuesday, April 8th, 2025 at 6:32. Y'all stand for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone in silence, please. Councilmember Castaneda? Here. Councilmember Sotelo? Here. Councilmember Alvarado?
Here.
Councilmember Zavala? And Councilmember De La Fuente.
Here.
Can I get a motion to have, Vera excused this evening, please?
I make a motion for Vera to be excused for today's meeting.
I have a motion by Diane,
I'll second it.
a second by Mary, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go on to 3. The introduction of our new staff and attorney. So I know we did introduce her earlier, but we're gonna go ahead and introduce her once again, as there was some audience or community members that were not here. So this is our new city attorney, Julie Norton. Yes. And she comes all the way from Wenatchee. She's our new city attorney. So we want to welcome her to our little city of Mountain.
Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for coming on with us. And
Here, or what, go again, when you get a chance to come over here.
Their meetings are different days, so
I thought they were on the same day.
Wapa's on Monday.
Oh,
So I was there last night and I'm here tonight.
oh my goodness.
so you'll be able to come over here.
Yeah, either myself or my partner Kate, who I think you met at the workshop last time.
Yeah.
One of us can either be available online or in person.
And also, I wanted to introduce a new officer we have, but is not here with us tonight. You want to go ahead and? Chief?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. We hired another police officer. We hired a lateral police officer. We were very fortunate to have him apply with us. Brings a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience to Mapton. And it's Officer Omar Rodriguez. And he comes to us from the Port of Pasco PD. And prior to that, he was a Granger police officer for a few years. And prior to that, he was a Pasco police officer for a few months. So the guy's just a wealth of knowledge, great guy. So he'll be here at the next council meeting. He couldn't be here tonight, but he'll be here at the next one. So yeah, if you see him driving around at night, stop and say hi to him.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. So we're gonna go ahead and go on to 4. Vote on the meeting agenda. I can get a motion.
I make a motion to vote on the meeting agenda.
I have a motion by Diane.
I'll second
Second by Sophie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're gonna go ahead and go on to 5, consent agenda, A through D. If I can get a motion, please.
I make a motion from A to D for the consent agenda.
A motion by Diane,
I'll second it, but I have a discussion.
I have a second by Sophie, and she would like, to discuss something.
So, and we still don't have the receipt for that Banner Bank for the $2,044.34. So I want to remove that, if it's in this, it's in here to remove that check, that payment. Oh, okay, you just put it in there.
Are we doing?
It's not included.
Oh,
in
I
the
told you,
payment. She
it
said it's
did,
in
Payment.
it got moved, but it's not, I
It's not
I will
included.
not pay it. no.
Okay.
It was in here, but no, I'm not. I'm not paying it until the receipt.
Oh, it is included.
It's included in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to remove that one check. Mhm. And Mary, did you find something? in there?
Yeah, I was looking at all the invoices that, or the statements that we have here. And we have a couple of them that there's no invoices on, page 11.
Who's that one? for?
Dentist?
That's because that's a credit.
Okay,
We had over $1,000 in credit with Cintas. And so all of those invoices that were attached there, the credit was applied to all of those. So even after I paid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those invoices, we're still sitting at a credit of $162.58, which I will use for next month.
and then on page 15, the Summit Law Group, $552.50.
That, the other one that got moved over, that's the one that we keep pushing back for. Councilwoman Sotelo had questions regarding the reason why we contacted them.
And then the Sunnyside Ace Hardware for $1,418.53. And you should be very proud. I have the invoices done.
Oh. I'm gonna give you the medallion. So, on
Ace
the,
for 1,400? I didn't.
It's right here.
That's the total balance.
Yeah, and there's no invoices or nothing in here. I didn't find anything in
No
here,
invoice or receipt then.
They should be in there.
unless it's these ones that I gave you, Sophie.
if you
I
wanna,
didn't understand it.
This one I found, but this is not, this is Ace.
This is
Ace
right here,
Hardware.
Ace.
It's not for that much, it was only paid $267.
That's, Yeah.
Okay, it does say 14 down here.
But that's the total. Yeah, the total on all those invoices together.
Oh,
You
it's
only-
for all
But
of
you
it?
only paid 267, according to this.
Oh.
With the credit of 864.
yeah, we overpaid on one of the invoices, and that's where they're saying we had a credit of 864. So I applied that in there. Wherever they're negative or negative numbers are showing in parentheses. So those are credits that I've found. I've actually found more, and I've started requesting refunds or,
but we're gonna go into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
She's gonna give a report, so we'll come back on that. Thank you, Sophia. So can we move forward now to 6?
No, we haven't finished the consent agenda. We haven't voted yet.
I had a motion by Diane, second by Sophie, all in favor?
Aye.
I with the removal, right? Of that banner bank for $2,444.34.
The 2,400, 2,000.
2,044 and 34 cents.
which is the, okay. And we're okay to take that up or no? Did you say we're okay to pay Summit or remove that one as well?
Oh, remove that one too, because I haven't heard from it really.
Okay.
And the summit, please, thank you.
So on Summit, those are things that we are not allowed to talk about right now. And we've already said that. So it needs to be
So it
paid.
hasn't been talked about, so we can go into executive session like you always do and talk about it.
No, we just can't talk about it, period. I'm sorry. We cannot talk about that right now.
Is this a new case thing then?
We cannot talk about it, Sophia. as soon as we finish, and we will be able to, but we cannot right now.
I'm still gonna remove it then.
This has been happening where we need to pay this bill because now the summit is after us, hounding us for this payment. And it needs to get paid, and it's something we cannot talk about with council right now. And we've told her that several times.
We have never said that.
Yes, we
No,
have.
we have not.
We are not allowed to talk about that. And we brought it up, the chief has brought it up as well. And it's something that she just wants to be holding up until she hears it, but we are not going to talk about it right now. We are not able to talk about that.
So it's maybe after this meeting,
We can talk with
we can
you.
talk and,
Yes.
and I can figure out how to get it moving forward.
Okay, thank you. Without council's approval. Because how many times have we not, how long has it been since? 3 times.
With this.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so now I need to get an approval for consent agenda A through D, removing what has been removed, going back to talk to the attorney on the summit one. So.
The summit one's still gonna have to be removed. Otherwise, you wanna skip this and then do it after you talk to her.
No, we're gonna talk after the council meeting. And it needs to be paid.
I'm not approving it.
So how many do we need for her not to approve it? I mean, if everybody else.
I mean,
approves,
if
it's
if
just
the
one.
majority
Well,
approves
yeah,
it,
okay,
it
yeah,
can,
okay.
it can be paid.
So can I go,
My recommendation is to pay if it's for services rendered, but if it ultimately is not approved, then that's another
So, and
conversation to have
that's-
with the mayor.
another thing that's been happening, we've been holding this up, everybody's been okaying it except her. You know, but if we just need to move forward, so if I can get, an approval on 5 consent agenda A through D. I have,
There's a motion on the table. We have a first and a second. Now we need to vote with the removals of the Banner Bank and Summit Law. All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
If there's only one vote, it doesn't pass, and you'll have to revote it.
You start.
I don't vote for it,
You
sorry.
say no.
No,
Aye.
No.
No. So motion was carried and
So motion fails. So approval of the consent agenda with the items removed fails.
Mhm.
So if you can either move on, which means none of your bills are getting paid, or you can revote the motion with however else you want to phrase it, whether it's putting the things back in and approving it that way. You just need a majority to approve it.
so once again, we need to. I need
Yeah, I
to
make a
motion.
motion. Yeah, so I make a motion to approve the consent agenda A through D. Well, no, but I want to do them all.
Okay, I need to,
At least removing Banner Banks for the 2,044.34.
okay, so that's another one we've been holding up.
we need to move on. We need to move on and stop holding this.
Your
This
job
what
is
I'm
to
saying.
check the payments and make sure
Well, you
they're buying
two
it.
are looking at it.
Well,
Do you
I-
give it
and I
to
am.
me?
Well, I don't have it. That's why it's getting removed.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can I get a motion on 5, on the consent agenda to approve A through D? Okay,
Removing the Banner Bank.
so we're gonna remove Banner Bank in the amount of $2,404,
$44.
$44 with 32. Do I get a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Sophie, second by Mary, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So that one passed. Removing just the Banner Bank one, credit card bill.
So now, do we have any visitors' comments? Anybody from the audience would like to say something at this time? This is your time. Okay. All right. We're gonna go ahead and go on. Is anybody online that would like to say something? Okay. We're gonna go ahead and go on to new business. A, approval of resolution 2025-07, authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement with MRSC, the small works roster. So, like we mentioned, this is our go-to people. If I can get a motion,
I make a motion for the approval of resolution 2025-07, authorizing the mayor to sign an agreement with MRSC, Small Works Roster.
I have a motion by Diane,
I'll second it.
second by Mary, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. B, approval of resolution 2025-08, updating the appointing municipal court judge. I already gave you the information on the names. If I can get an approval, please.
I'm making a motion on number B, approving, approval of resolution 2025-08, updating the appointing municipal court judge.
I have a motion by Diane,
I'll second it.
second by Sophia. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're gonna go ahead and go on to C, approval of resolution 2025-09, authorizing the mayor to contract Kern Fencing Company for the repair and installation of the fence at the city of Mapton Cemetery.
I'm making a motion on number C, approving the resolution 2025-09, authorizing the mayor to contract Kernan Fencing Company for the repair and installation of the fence at the city of Mountain Cemetery.
A motion by Diane,
I'll second.
second by Arturo, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so we have reports today from our treasurer, Sophia. Oh. Okay. Diane, would you like to say anything? On your reports?
Okay, I just want to know, Sophia, if you were appointed mayor, what would you do for the city? That's Rachel hasn't done. What would you approve? What would
I'm
you
not
go
running
for?
for mayor.
You're not gonna run for mayor? I thought you
Oh my gosh, rumors.
were. No, I thought you were running for mayor.
Who told you? Did I tell you?
I just, asked if you were on it. I'm sorry if I asked you.
Sophia? Mary?
No.
Last week I went to the post office a couple of times and I was gonna go to the city hall to leave my mileage and it was like about I don't know, 4:50 and the post office was closed. I mean, not the post office, city hall.
What day was this?
I can't remember.
If it was Friday, the staff left at a little bit before 5. It was spring break and I gave them time to go home. A lot of their kids were home and I told them to take the day, half of the day to go. Was there an issue with that?
No, I was just
Okay.
wanting to know.
Okay.
What are the closing hours?
They've been closing every day at 4:30, like it passed when the other council was here and it was approved 4:30.
Because they asked me and it wasn't Ruben.
He was
I
out
heard
there
from-
arguing.
When somebody else came and asked me and I go, as far as I know, it's supposed to be at 5. I don't know if they, but I noticed they were gone at 4:30.
Because on the
Yes.
website, it says 5 o'clock.
No, they quit answering phones at 5, but the doors are locked at 4:30. And it's been that way since it was Antonio, Mayor, or Ann and Diane approved it and Vera. So it's been that way since the other council members were here.
Can I comment on that? It had been that way, but we made a motion to change the hours. We made a new ordinance. That has not been followed, but it's been done since April of last year. Even though you refused to follow it.
Because we go through, we
No,
talked to the
we do the
union, we
ordinance.
talked to the union.
So the union has nothing to do with the ordinance. It's a city ordinance.
Do we have that ordinance?
No.
Okay, we'll look into it. But we've been closing and we said we were gonna set those times and the staff's here till 5, Sophie. The doors are locked at 4:30, and the reason we went that route was so that they could catch up on work.
Yeah, so, but the citizens can't get to the city on time. It's just used, we had changed it back to 5 o'clock like it used to be before you and your last council changed it.
Sophie, everybody comes and does their work at
It doesn't
4:30.
matter, it's a new ordinance. It was changed last year. Just look at it, just because you don't follow it is the problem.
We'll have to look.
Okay.
Not to add anything, it doesn't look like you have any updates from last year in your ordinances, but it online is showing your city hall hours as 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Thank you. So the doors do close at 4:30.
It says 5 p.m.
Can you let me talk, okay?
This does not indicate it was updated in 2024. This is the last update was 2014.
Yeah, because they
So-
refused to put it in there, but it was passed. I'll have to find a copy of it.
So with our last council, we passed it, that it would go from, they open at 8. And, we close the doors at 4:30, so that way the staff can catch up on work, that they need to do, because they're really busy. And, you know, they still answer those phones until 5 o'clock though. The doors do close at 4:30, and we've been doing it for the last almost 2 years, and the residents are okay with it. We haven't had anybody come in and complain, except for the person you saw today, and I'm sorry you had to see that. That was very rude, and it was very, just crazy. But, we haven't had any issues at all, Julie. And so, okay. Anything else? Okay, do you have anything to add? Staff reports, you are Sergeant?
No.
Luke? Julie, you have anything? Okay, so,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and we'll do staff reports, so, we're gonna have Sophia give her report. Sophia,
Okay.
come up here, just right there, okay.
The ARPA report that was completed last month, prevented us from having to pay back the $633,726. However, there is a new report that's due this month, which I'm working on, to get that submitted so that we don't have to continue, or with threats. We were getting threats already that they were wanting the money because the reports hadn't been completed. But I got it in on time. Department of Labor and Industries, actually, that has just changed as of today. I finished Q1 of 2025. The report has been submitted. Payment has not yet, though. We did have an overpayment. When I spoke with LNI this afternoon, she said that we've carried an overpayment since 1995. So she said it was typically something normal that most cities do. So I'm gonna look into that a little further and then determine whether or not we pay the full amount and keep that overpayment, or set it back to zero and only pay what's due from the 2025 report. Employment Securities Q1 2025 report was submitted this morning as well. That report had not, Q4 had not been submitted, and so we're thankful we did not get penalties, just a $25 late fee on that, but we are still sitting at a $27,000 credit, slightly over. So I will be working with those two departments to figure out where we go next, because our reports, quarterly reports, are not even over $500. So I don't see that we would be using that 27,000 anytime soon. Department of Retirement Services, for PERS and layoff, the reports had not been completed since October of 2024. So I completed all of those reports, and payments had not been received, and we were receiving letters from them as well. Payments had not been received since July of 2024. They are now up to date. The excise tax is always for the month prior, so in March, we completed, February's excise tax. That next report is not due till the 25th of April. So, and it looks like typically they're right around $5,200 each month. UEBT has been processed and updated. Visions has also been updated for UEBT. Teamsters had some discrepancies. Some people were overpaying, so I issued refunds to those that overpaid. And got everything straightened out with them, so we should be current and up to date with them. PFMLA and Walk Hairs, I just got access this afternoon to that website and all reports. The last report that was submitted to them was Q1 of 2024. I just submitted the last 4 reports. So I am just waiting for them to process our reports, so I know how much money we have to pay them for. EFTPS is my next project. I received the PIN last week. I have not, that one looks like it's a big mess. I did look into it.
Excuse me,
that was-
Sophie, can you just tell us what the EFTPS
Oh,
is and what a PFMLA wash care means?
Okay, so PFMLA, Washington State, implemented a paid family leave act for those employees, for every employer here, within the state. And then depending on how big of an employee group you have, then the employer pays a portion or the employee pays a portion. Right now, we're exempt because we don't have more than 50 people. So it's the employee portions that have to be paid. Those come right directly out of everybody's paycheck. EFTPS is the IRS website that we paid all of the federal taxes to, so Medicare, Social Security, and federal income taxes. From what I can tell, that has not been done since Q1 of 2024 either. So I'm working on that. That's my next project, actually. And then the Form 941 is the form that we have to send to the state that shows the total amounts that were paid to everybody and how much was withheld from their checks for federal income tax, Social Security, and Medicare. And that's not due till the end of the month. So I've got a little bit of time on that. Accounts payables. I have found about $2,500 in credits. I'm either using them or I'm contacting the vendors and asking for refunds. There is still, I did get one from Cat Machines for $112 that just came in yesterday that I've got to process. And then Les Schwab, we have a credit of just over $700. So I requested that from last month. I requested it from Susie at Sunnyside Les Schwab. She said she'd process it. I haven't heard back anything, so I'm gonna follow up with her on that. The bank reconciliations, I've been working on January, February, March. I actually started yesterday, diving into some of 2024's. I've got a couple of months in 2024 that are almost done, and January, February, and March are almost done as well. It's not the withdrawals or debits where we're off, it's recording the credits where we're off. So the money coming in, and a lot of it is because we bunch them together. If we get a state remittance and we get all of our credit card processes, they all get bunched together. The bank statements don't show it that way. They show them separate. And so it's a matter of just adding together which ones, trying to figure out which ones. But Monty and I have been working together on a better solution on how to find them, so it's easier to reconcile and be faster to reconcile from now on. When I first started, we met with the auditors, and some of their recommendations were to implement a two-person verification for all open and closed processes. So when Jerry opens the till in the morning, he counts his money, and then I come behind him and I count his money. And we make sure that we both match and we both sign that was the money we started with, and then we do the same at the end of the day. So that's part of what it takes so long closing. Sometimes we're there till even after 5 if we can't get the deposit to match or our numbers to match. So we go back and we look at everything, the two of us, to make sure. And sometimes we have to bring a third set of eyes in at the end of a day, because it can be a lot sometimes. And then deposits, one of the recommendations were that deposits were not made in a timelier manner, so we are doing that now. I live in Sunnyside. Banner Bank is not that far from me, so I just go and put it in the night deposit box. And if I can't make it one night, then we ask the officers to make the deposit the next day, so that we're getting them in, our deposits in quicker. Because sometimes they were sitting for 3 or 4 days. So our deposits are now being made within 24 hours.
Basically, David, I had a question on the bank reconciliations. So 2024 is not done.
So Jameson is, I think, done with 2022 or close to done with 2022. She wanted to do 2023 and 2024, and it's not moving fast enough. And so I started, working on 2024 to help her out as well, so we can get done faster.
And 2025 can be reconciled even though the other ones are not.
And see, I have been with QuickBooks for years, and you cannot do that, but in this program that we have, you can reconcile, it's a month at a time, so you can reconcile current months without the previous months being reconciled.
Thank you.
Really good job, Sophie. Really good job.
I have one more question, Sophie, on the first page, ESD, what is that?
ESD, Employment Security Department.
Oh, okay. And we overpaid 27,000
Yes.
Been like that for years, though, right?
It's been like that for years.
as well?
Yeah.
But they didn't say it was normal like the Department of Labor.
I didn't call ESD today. I ran out of time, but Labor and Industry said that it was normal.
Is that everything, Sophia?
I think so.
Okay, thank you. Sophia's been doing a really good job. Since she's come on, she's taken the reins. And I think she found some stuff like in the first 2 weeks and came to me and it's like, Mayor, I found some savings. I'm like, wow, let's get it. So she's been really good asset to Mountain. So I'm glad we have her. And Mike?
Yeah, I just want to give you guys a report on public records requests. So just so you kind of know, for the year to date for 2025, we've had 31 new requests. We were able to close out 28 requests. Current open requests, we have 9. That's including 6 from 2024. This year on revenue for public records requests, we have 441 with 25 cents, compared to last year, which was 110 with 70 cents. Our website is now up and it's running, so the staff has the access to update anything at any time. So all the minutes as of 2025 have been updated and are on the website. So that's for the perks. We also had staff reports from Public Works and from Jerry, just to kind of give you guys an overview of what's been going on in the City Hall. So Jerry wanted to report on the building department. So this year they've seen an increase in permits and application. Current year to date, his quarterly report reflects a total of 6,210 with 8 cents in revenue off of permits compared to 2024. It was at 3,056.31. And with the council approving the resolution for Genoa's Paradise, we should receive those plans for the housing development soon. And the city has also sent out a new test well agreement with Mr. Reeves and Clover Planning for review. So we expect to hear back from them within the next 2 weeks, if all goes well. The ball will get rolling on that project sooner rather than later. For Public Works, they recently, been working on replacing broken meters. They painted city benches, city, trash bins. They did the maintenance on the city vehicles and equipment. They flush and exercise the hydrants, painted crosswalks on the school, or by the school. They still need to finish doing the rest of the town. Mainly it was, Arts Box. They tested and fixed sprinklers in the parks and cemetery. They've been working on the alley garbage cleanup, trimming the hedges of the tree bushes in parks and cemetery. They're not finished. They've been trying to keep up on the graffiti, sewer, manhole, and water valve locates citywide. Water valve exercise, they're not finished. They've been filling in potholes. They need to do that again. They gravel in the city right of ways, the alleys. They painted and repaired cemetery equipment, and they sprayed the weed killer or the weeds with Randy. So they're currently doing mowing, headstones. They're filling in shallow graves at the cemetery. They're planting grass at the cemetery, spread fertilizer throughout the parks, spraying weeds in the alleys, right of ways, painting, crosswalks, curbs, markings, parking lines, etc. And they're working on the trimming of the cemetery bushes, trees, cemetery maintenance, library maintenance, pothole repairs, and sprinkler irrigation repairs. That was all.
Thank you. You're doing a good job, Heidi. Thank you very much. The staff's been really working hard, and I think the city looks really good. I know we get compliments on it. Officers have been doing really good. We've been getting a lot of compliments that the public's excited to see officers out there driving around. And that you guys are interacting with the community, and, you know, that's what they like. So we've got to build that trust with them, and that's what we're working for. We do have our Easter egg hunt this weekend, Sunday at 1:30 at Gazelle Park. Easter Bunny will be in town. I believe the librarian will be there as well, doing a project with the kids. Hopefully one or two of our officers will be out there to help us. And I invite council members to come out and help if they like. We will have little over 2,000 eggs to hide for the kids. So the town is invited, surrounding towns are invited. We did have a good turnout last year, so it'll start at 1:30, and we will have 3 different sections for 3 different age groups.
This Saturday, you said?
Sunday
Sunday.
at 1:30
13th.
at Gazelle Park. Do you have anything to add? Okay. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and go into executive session, and when we come back, we will be adjourning the meeting. So if we can hear the chambers at 7:11. And this should be 15 minutes.